Hi there, hope you have a fantastic day today. This lesson I'm going to teach you how to differentiate a function. Of course, there's a PDF file version on the description below for you to download so you can work with me. Otherwise, let's go straight into it. To differentiate these kind of functions, so first of all, we need to know that it is a product rule because x squared times square root of 5x minus 2. So we use product rules. So we have y is equal to f of x times g of x. So the product rule is with y dash equal, we differentiate the first function, so that is f dash x. And then we times by the second function. We differentiate the second function, that is g dash x. And then we times by the first function, so which is f of x. So there you go. So before we do that, of course, we need to convert square root of 5x minus 2 right into fractional index form first, okay? So let me just write equal because they are so let me just write this down so that become x squared and then 5x minus 2 power of a half. So we need to write in this form first so that we can differentiate, okay? Now to differentiate this, so with the first function is x squared. So we differentiate the first function. So which is x squared, we differentiate that to give me 2x. So y dash is equal to 2x. Then don't forget, we need to times by the second function. So the second function is this. So we just write this down. So 5x minus 2 power of a half. So differentiate the first functions, times the second. Then we differentiate the second functions, then we times by the first functions, okay? So we differentiate the second functions. So this is the second functions. So we need to differentiate this. So let me just write this down. So we have g of x is equal to 5x minus 2 power of a half. So to differentiate this, we use power angle trick. So we power angle trick. So first thing is we differentiate the power first. So the power is a half. So we bring down, then we minus 1, okay? So a half we bring down. So g dash x, it will give me the half, bring it down, then we minus 1, okay? So a half minus 1 is negative a half. Otherwise, you can just use your calculator, a half minus 1. You should get negative half. And then we differentiate the angle because power done. And then now we differentiate the angle. So we treat that as an angle. So we differentiate 5x minus 2. So differentiate 5x minus 2 will give me 5. So we times by 5. Power, angle, done. And then there's no trick involved. So we just don't worry about that, okay? So now I'm just tidying this up. So this will give me the same as 5 over 2. I just write this down. 5x minus 2 power negative a half. And this is exactly the same as this. 5x minus 2 power of negative a half. And over 2. But because it is a negative index, so we need to bring it down so it becomes positive, okay? Keep that in mind. So that will give me 5. I bring this one down so that it becomes positive. So that 5 over, so let me write this down, 2, 5x minus 2 power of a half. But don't forget, power of a half is square root, okay? Keep that in mind. So let me just write this down first. So this will give me 5 over 2 5x minus 2 square root. There you go. So the differentiate of the second function. So let me just write this down. So the second functions we differentiate give me 5 to 5x minus 2 square root. Okay, don't forget. Okay, so now we differentiate the second function already. We need to times the first function. So the first function is x squared. So we times by x squared. So that is exactly the same as 5x squared. So there you go. But then we need to tidy up, okay? In another word, we need to simplify, make it simpler, okay? Now, to simplify this, first of all, let me just rewrite this first, okay? So this is exactly the same as 2x, 5x minus 2 and square root of that. And we add 5x squared over 2 5x minus 2 square root of this. So now we're just adding fractions. So when you're adding fractions, common denominator must be the same. So in this case, the common denominator must be 2 square root of 5x minus 2. So this means that I want to write this over 2 5x minus 2. So therefore, I need to times the top exactly the same as well, okay? So I times this by, let me just write on here, okay? So 2 5x minus 2 square root of that. So now 2x times 2. So 2x times 2 is 4x. So equal to 4x. And then square root of this and times by square root of this. So remember, square root of x times square root of x is x. So therefore, square root of 5x minus 2 times by itself. So the square root becomes 1. So that is becomes 5x minus 2. And then this is over 2 5x minus 2 plus 5x squared over 2 5x minus 2. So now we can write in one fractions, okay? So let me just move this up a bit. So that will give me over 2 5x minus 2. So this one now I can expand this out. So that give me 5 times 4 is 20. And x times x is x squared. Then 4x times negative 2. So 4 times negative 2, of course, give me negative 8. And then the x we write down. And 5x squared, I just write it out. There you go. Okay, so I just expand the brackets and I put all in one fraction. Okay, so now I just collecting like terms. In another word, simplified. Okay, so that will give me, so 20x squared with plus 5x squared. So that will give me 25x squared. And then we just minus ax over 2 there you go. So differentiate this will give me 25x squared minus ax over 2 lots of square root of 5x minus 2. Please pause the video and try this one yourself. Hi, I'm back. How do you go? So let me go through it to see whether you got it correct or not, okay? Before I do that, please do not forget to give me a thumb up and subscribe if you haven't done so you can help me to grow my channel. So let's get into it. So to do this, first of all, we need to write the square root form into index form first, okay? So that is power of a half for 3x minus 7. So let me just rewrite this. So I write equal because I'm not doing anything yet. I'm just writing different form, okay? Keep that in mind. So 3x minus 7 and power of a half. So now to differentiate this, we use product rule. So we differentiate the first functions, we times by the second, plus differentiate the second functions, and then we times by the first. Okay, and then we tidy up by simplifying, okay? So the first function is x. So we differentiate the first functions, that is x. So differentiate x, give me 1. So let me just write this down. y dash is equal to 1 and times by the second function, so which is 3x minus 7 power of half. And then we differentiate the second functions, then times the first, okay? So the second functions is this one here. So to differentiate this, we use power, angle, trick. So the power is a half. So we differentiate that, we bring a half down with minus 1. So let me just write this down. So we differentiate the second functions. That means a half we bring down and minus 1 becomes negative a half. So 3x minus 7. Power of negative a half. And then we have to differentiate the angle. So the power down. The angle is this, okay? We treat that as an angle. So differentiate 3x minus 7. So that will give me 3, okay? So I just times by 3. And then we differentiate trick, but there is no trick. So therefore we ignore that. So done. So we differentiate the second function already. But don't forget, we need to times by the first function. And the first function is x. So we times by x. So that give me 3x, like that, okay? So now I just tidy up. So noting that because this form here is negative. So we need to bring it down, become positive, okay? Remember that. And then this one, I just write in third form, okay? So that becomes 3, 1 times that, so exactly the same, like this. There you go. And we add, okay, this form here, we bring this down. So let me just write this out first. So this times this, so it becomes 3x over 2. Okay, times by 3x minus 7 power of negative a half. But then I need to bring it down, become positive. So let me just clear this for you. So that over 3x minus 7 and square root of that. And this one, I just write in the middle. So that's it. And we need to simplify. So when you add fractions, common denominator must be the same. So this one here, we need to times by 2, 3x minus 7 square root. And then we divide by 2, 3x minus 7. There you go. But then remember 2 times nothing in here means 1. Okay, so 2 times 1 is 2. So just write 2. And then we have this times by itself. So square root of x times square root of x is x. Okay, so therefore this times by itself, the square root disappears. Become 1 if you like. So write bracket 3x minus 7. And then we add, okay, this one. I'm just going to write all in one fraction, okay? So just keep that in mind. So plus 3x because the common denominator is the same now. So just write all in one fractions. So that becomes 2, 3x minus 7. There you go. So now I just expand and I'm simplifying, okay? Do all together, okay? So that becomes like this. So 2 times 3x, which is 6x. And then we add 3x. So that give me 9x. Because this time that give me 6x. We add another 3, so 9. And then 2 times negative 7. So 2 times negative 7 is 14. So just write this down. So minus 14. Over 2, 3x minus 7. There you go. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.